entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Definitely du by dx and whatever we take into account. So now, when I want to map with respect to the local coordinate system, what is?
Good morning, guys. Well, we have only 3 people joined today. Why? Very less attendance. Anyway, you guys can hear me? Atharva, Nikita.
Yes, no problem.
Okay, so if you guys can hear me, I will start my session. Let me just share my screen with you guys.
Yes, no problem. When we will be recording, I will connect to this.
So basically what we did in the last lecture, we started with the design of the shaft, right? So for that we just went through some basics on what is shaft, what kind of loads or stresses in the shaft, and on that we discussed on what is how to do the design of the shaft. So first we went through the stresses in the shaft. As I mentioned, there are 3 stresses in the shaft. Direct stress, then there is stress because of the bending, and stress because of the torsion, right? So we went through that, and direct stress is basically load upon area. Load is P or F, and area is pi by 4 d square, right? So direct tensile stress we get as sigma t is equal to F upon A. So we will use that. There are mainly 2 stresses. Stress because because the shaft is a lengthy or long element, so it will undergo bending as well as it will undergo shear because of the torsion. Okay. So let me just So the failure because of the bending, how to check that? We'll try to make sure that bending stress, whatever we are having or whatever we are getting, is within the limits. Okay. So that bending stress sigma b should be less than. So we will be using the bending equation. Sigma b is equal to mb upon I into y. Here mb is bending moment. I is pi by 64 d raised to 4 moment of inertia. You guys can hear me, right? If anything comes up, you guys are not able to hear me, just put that in a chat. I'm going to keep close watch on the chat. Okay. So I hope I'm audible. So I'll just keep continuing. Here in the bending stress is sigma b is equal to mb upon I into y. Mb is bending moment. We will find out bending moment at all points in the shaft, and which we will take maximum bending moment. Whatever maximum bending moment, there it will have a failure. So that bending moment will be maximum bending moment in the shaft. I is moment of inertia for circular shaft. It is pi by 64 d raised to 4, and y is stress at different locations. So at the neutral axis, that is center of the shaft, it is 0, sigma b, y is 0, and the maximum bending stress will be at the extreme fibers, right? So depending on location, if it is on the outside of the curve, then it will undergo tension. Inside it will be undergo compression. So depending on the location, it will have a different kind of stress, but it will be maximum at the extreme fiber, that is d by 2. So when we put that all that, we will get sigma b is equal to 32 mb upon pi d cube. So this is what we discussed in last lecture. Similarly, if you see the torsion equation, shear stress because of the torsion, tau is equal to mt. Mt means torque T upon J into R, right? So if we put mt is basically torque, or as I said, mt, torque on your shaft. J is a polar moment of inertia, which is pi by 32 d raised to 4. It is twice of I, because this pi by 64 d raised to 4 plus pi by 64 d raised to 4, it comes to pi by 32 d raised to 4. And R is d by 2. So when we put all that, we get J is equal to pi by tau is equal to 16 mt upon pi d cube. Next part, angle of steel. This is the design of the shaft, on torsional rigidity. We'll talk about that in next lecture. I don't want to go into too much details because, I want to go through a numerical first. So when we do a design of the shaft, as I said, there are basically shaft will be having all the stresses, bending stress as well as torsion, shear stress because of the torsion. So to combine those, we will be using principal stresses. So there are principal stresses, design of the shaft, using the principal stress, that is design of the shaft using principal stress and design of the shaft using maximum shear stress. Generally, for the shaft, we use maximum shear stress failure, and this equation governs that tau max is equal to 16 upon pi d cube into root of mb square plus mt square, right? So here tau max is the maximum principal shear stress, right? And mb as bending moment, mt is the twisting moment, that is torque. So if we are going to use, maximum principal stress instead of principal shear stress, if you are going to use maximum principal stress, it will be 16 upon pi d cube into mb plus root of mb square plus mt square. So here only additional term will be inside, that means along with root of mb square plus mt square, there will be mb plus root of mb square plus mt square. That we will be using that in case of we are using maximum principal stress theory. But generally for shaft we use maximum shear stress theory, right? So for the shear stress, tau max is given by 16 upon pi d cube root of mb square plus mt square, right? So now how we will do the design, I will just explain in 2 minutes the procedure for the design, and then we will just take a look at the numerical. Okay, so we will know the limiting stress SYT, multiplied with 0.5 to get the allowable and divided by factor of safety to get the allowable shear stress tau max. So now we know tau max or the allowable shear stress in the shaft, right? Then we have to find out the diameter of the shaft. Design means what? We have to find out the diameter of the shaft. So in that equation, tau max is equal to 16 upon pi d cube into mb square plus mt square root of that, right? Here we have to find out d, and we need to know mb and mt. Mb means bending moment. So we will use our concept of strength of material, knowledge of SOM, to get the bending moment of, so SFD BMD. Basically we will be drawing SFD BMD, try to get bending moment at each location and try to find out the maximum bending moment, and then we will use that maximum bending moment as mb, and mt is torque. Now how we will find out torque? If we know the power, power for the shaft, then we can use 2 pi nt upon 60, right? T is the torque, p is power, p is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60, right? N is rpm, like the number of revolutions per minute, right? So using this equation we can find out mt. So like that we have to find out torque, we have to find out bending moment, and then we have to find out the allowable shear stress, and then we can calculate the diameter. So this is the procedure for the design of the shaft. Okay, now we will take a look at the numerical, and once that is numerical is done, then we will go for the design of the shaft for the ASME code. It is a little bit what you can say advanced design, and then we will do the design for the torsional rigidity, right? But now since we know the basics of the design of the shaft, we will just try to what you can say take a numerical. Okay, so let me just share the numerical screen with you. Let me just close this thing. Okay, so now I will share my numerical. Well, basically we will take a look at the numerical now. Okay, so let me know if you are not able to hear this my lecture. This is basically numerical. I am going to share that with you, and just let me know if you are not able to hear that. Good morning, guys. In first lecture of the second unit, that is in the last lecture, we have gone through how to do the design or basic concepts of shaft, and then on the basis of that, we just derived equation for the design of the shaft, like how to calculate the diameter of the shaft, basically what kind of stresses it will undergo, and using those stresses how we can do the design. So I will just quickly go through that. Basically any shaft, it will undergo basically three types of stresses: direct stress, sigma t stress because of the bending. It will bend. So because of the bending, it might have a stress, and for that we will use bending equation. And there might be a stress because of the shear stress because of the torsion. So these stresses are because of direct stress. There will be 4p upon pi d square. Like P is stress is equal to load upon area. Area is pi by 4 d square. So direct stress sigma t in the shaft will be 4p upon pi d square. माझं चालू आहे इकडं, माझं इकडं वेबिनार चालू आहे.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Maximum shear stress theory. So like the example we are going to take, we will use that maximum shear stress theory. Okay. So now we will, using this whatever approach of the design, we'll try to design a shaft. Okay. So let's try to design this. I'm just raising this thing because I want to now write down things for the. Okay. Now try to take a look at the numerical. This is the numerical which we have given. It's basically a shaft is carrying 2 pulleys. So now we have a shaft which is carrying 2 pulleys. There is a diagram also I have drawn for the sake of understanding. We have a shaft now which is basically carrying two pulleys. There are two pulleys, pulley 1 and 2, at a distance to 50 from the bearings. Bearings are A and B. So diameter is, the diameter ratio is given 1.25 is to 1. That is at with 1.5. Somewhere here it is, okay, here 2.5 is to 1. Belt tension ratio is given. Okay. So now we have to design this shaft, for the whatever it is transmitting power. So basically, how we will be approaching this problem. Now we know that this is a shaft which is transmitting power from say pulley 1 to 2 to 1, whatever it is. So it will have, it is transmitting now power to this pulley. This pulley is transmitting this. Basically, it is taking the torque. It is transmitting that torque throughout the shaft and it is going to the second pulley. Now the second pulley will be, that pulley will be carried by the first pulley. So like that, we know if we have the power, we can find out the torque. The torque means basically empty. Whatever we had in the previous equation there, empty is the twisting moment. So we can find out the empty. Then now we need to know MB, bending moment. So different pulleys will have a different bending moment, right? We have to calculate the bending moment using some knowledge of the strength of material. And once we know the bending moment, twisting moment, and allowable shear stress, we can calculate the diameter. Right? So this is the approach we are going to take. So let's go through the problem now. Now we have given a shaft which is carrying two pulleys 1 and 2, having bearings at A and B. Okay, and power is transmitted is 7.5 kilowatt at 360 RPM. So we have given power P, we have given RPM of the shaft. So let's write down what is given while going through problem. Whatever generally I follow is while going through the problem itself, we will try to go through the details. So power is given is 7.5 into 10 raised to 3 watt, or 7.7, let's write it that only 7.5 kilowatt, because we will be using the same thing, 7.5 kilowatt. We will use the kilowatt formula. RPM N is 360 RPM. Okay. And the diameter of the pulleys are given 250 and 5 meters. So D1 is 250 and diameter D2 is 500. So diameters are given, right? And the masses of the masses are also given. So basically M1 is 10 kg and M2 is 30 kg. So these are the masses, these are not weight. So we have to calculate the weight for the calculation of the bending moment. We have to calculate the weight. We'll see that how to calculate that. Now the belt tension ratio is given. So basically, if P1 and P2 is the ratio between the belt tension, then it is 2.8 is equal to P3 by P4, right? It is equal to 2.5 to 1. So now we have given this P1 the ratio of the tensions in the P1 upon P2 is to P3 upon P4, and then it is made of, so we have given SYT which is 380 Newton per mm square, and we have given factor of safety of 3. So now using this information, we have to calculate the diameter of the shaft. Okay, so let's just just shape this thing. So whatever I have written, okay, so we have given power of 7.5 and 360, D250, D2 is 500, M1 and 2 are given, ratio of tensions are given, SYT and factor of safety. So depending from the problem, whatever is given, I have noted down whatever information. Now using this, we have to calculate this part. If the allowable angle, this is the second part, design on the torsional rigidity basis. We will go through that also, but that the theory is yet to be done. We'll do that in the next lecture. Okay. So we will design the blade based on basis of all this, whatever information is given. Right? How we will apply this? As I discussed, we will simply go through the. Basically, we know the power transmitted by the fluid. We will try to find out the torque. And once we know the torque, then we can find out bending moment, torque, and we can find out the diameter. The equation we are going to use is tau is equal to tau max, allowable shear stress, maximum shear stress is equal to 16 upon 5 cube root of mp square plus mp square. This is the equation which we are going to use for our design. So for that, what we need to know? We need to know the allowable shear stress. We We need to know bending moment, we need to know twisting moment. So this is torque, bending moment, allowable. From where we get this twisting moment? We know S by T, 0.5 into S by T upon factor Z, we got the allowable shear stress. Okay. Now twisting moment, torque. We P is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60. So if we know power, if we know, we can find out the twisting moment and torque. Right? Bending moment. Now we have to draw bending moment diagram. We have to find out bending moment at this point. Here it will be the bending moment at here, bending moment here. Here the bending moment will be 0. We have to find out bending moment at this A and B. And whatever is larger, we have to take that larger bending moment from the equation. Okay. So just now we will try to attack the problem. Okay, so first thing we will do is finding out allowable shear stress. Okay. Now how it will calculate that? T allowable will be 0.5 of S by T upon factor of 7. So 0.5 of 380 upon factor of 0.03. So it is 90 or 90 upon 3. So it will be 63.33 Newton per atom square. Let me verify that whether I did it correctly. 63.33. So now we know that tau allowable is 63.33 Newton per atom square. Okay. Now we know allowable shear stress. Okay. So we did the first part of this equation. Now let's try to find out the torque or twisting moment in the shaft. Now P is equal to, you know, P is equal to 2 by nt upon 60. This will give you the watt. So for the kilowatt, now nt is equal to 60 into 10 raised to 6. This is mt or T in this case upon basically 2 pi. Here 2 pi and will be divided by 2 pi. This is the formula we are going to use. Here we have to find out twisting moment. So here we have 60 into 10 to 6. This is because this is kilowatt. Okay. This is we are taking kilowatt into MT. MT is we have to find. Okay. Now this is 60 to 10 to T is equal to this is P. Okay. What is the power given to us? Power given is PPP 7.5. 2 pi into 10 is 360. 20 we will be 60. Now why this is we are converted taking directly we are taking watt, we are power is given in kilowatt, so directly take it in kilowatt. So that's why we are taking it in Newton, and this will be Newton. Answer we will be getting in Newton mm. So this 10 raised to 3 for the kilowatt and 10 raised to 3 for Newton mm. So that's why we are this conversion from this to this will happen. So what is the answer we are going to get is 198,943. 198,943 Newton mm. So this is the twisting moment or torque which will basically. So I can update here also. From here to here, it will start from here. This is 198,943. So this is the torque diagram. So this is A, B, 1. I don't know if it is visible, but basically I updated the torque diagram here. I updated the torque diagram here. 198, 1,943. So basically this is the torque which will be applicable throughout the shaft. Okay. So now we have. Okay, we are okay. So we have T now, MT, we know MT now, 198,943 Newton mm. Everything is in Newton mm. So for the conversion of this Newton, meter to Newton, we are taking this thing as 10 raised to 6. So now, to apply the first equation, whatever we have seen, the principal shear stress theory equation, tau max is equal to dq into root of mv square plus mt square. We now know mt square, we now know allowable shear stress, right? So we can use now equation. We have to find out the bending moment. Now how we will find out the bending moment? So bending moment, to find out the bending moment, we have to find out the bending moment at here and here. Right. So for that we need to know what is the load acting here. What is the load acting here? So load is downward. So load at 1 and load at 2. And once we know the load, then we can find out, multiply that with that length, we can get the dimension moment for that particular point. So now what is the load acting at 1 and 2? At 1, load is P1 and P2, both like this. This is 1, this is P1, P2, right? And both are going downwards, so the load will be P1 plus P2 plus W1. Weight of the pulley is also load, right? So if this is the pulley and this is A, then this will be P1 plus P2 plus W1. So at pulley the load at this distance is 250. So tension in on side 1 plus tension on side 2 plus its weight multiplied by 250 will be the moment at A. Similarly at B, it will be P3 plus P4 plus W2 into 250, right? So you got it. So basically we have to find out the moment at A and B and then take the maximum. So we will put that in this moment diagram. So right now, if we want to update the free body diagram, so how it will be? Now let's here it will be like this, load from the top to bottom. Here will be load from top to bottom, right? And the reaction here will be like this. So here the moment will be 0, right? And here the moment will be different. We will find out moments at different points. We have to draw this bending moment diagram, SFD, BMD, and then we will have to do the final calculation. So let's try to find out. We have to find out P1, P2, W1, and similarly P3, P4, and W2. Once we know that, we can calculate the bending moment. So with this we will be calculating bending moment at A and bending moment at B. Okay. So let's find out now P1. Now how to find out P1, P2? Right. So to announce torque, T is equal to, it is same throughout. It is 198, 943. This is the torque Newton mm, is equal to what? P1 minus P2 into R1, right? Radius, it is what? This is the pulley, right? This is P1, this is P2, and this is R1, right? So torque is basically P1 minus P2 into R1, right? So that is the torque acting on the diameter, right? So basically now what we have to find out is, we have to find out the, okay, we know now P1 and P2, we have to find out now P1 and P2, but for that we have, this is one equation. Now we know this is the one artistic moment or torque with R1 is given, so this, let's write it down. So P1 minus P2 into R1 is 250 by 2, right, is equal to 198, 943, right? This is the one equation. And second equation is, now we have given P1 upon P2 ratio 2.5. So from this we can say P1 is equal to 2.5 times of P2. Now try to put that here. So what we will get? 2.5 P2 minus P2 into 125 is equal to 198, 943. So with this equation we can find out P2, right? So what is P2 now we will get? $2652, P1 2652 Newton, and P1, this is I think P1 and P2 is 1060. So now we got P1 as 2652, P2 as 1060, right? That is the value 2652, 1061. Let me just verify. Okay. And now W1. So now we know now P1, we know P2. Let's find out W1. W1 is simply weight. Weight is what? Its mass into 9.8. So W1 is M1 C, right? So 10 into 9.81, basically it is 98.1 Newton. Correct? So we know now W1 98.1. So now we know total load at pulley 1. So it is basically P1 plus P2 plus your W1. So total load, that load is downwards. Load at pulley 1. Let's call it pulley 1, and it is P1 plus P2 plus W1. This is top. So it is 2652 plus 1061 plus 98.1. Let me just verify the numbers. Okay, so it is 3811.71. So the total load at pulley 1 is this much, right? This is the pulley 1. Okay. Now at pulley 1, total load is P1 plus P2 plus weight of pulley 1. So it is this much. So what is the bending moment? Bending moment is load into distance, right? So bending moment will be, right? So MB at A will be 3, is basically load into distance, right? So it is 3811.71 into, that is 250. So it is, the answer is 952,927. 952,927. The unit will be Newton into this thing is nano. So this is the bending moment at point A. So bending moment, like, let's try to put that in this thing now. 952, whatever we have got. Here it is 952,927. This is the bending moment at A, right? So similarly, we will try to find out bending moment at B. Again, the same procedure we follow. We try to find out P3, P4, and we try to find out load. So let's again come back here. Now let's try to find out P3. So torque, again it remains same. The last diagram is torque is same throughout. So torque at P is equal to P3 minus P4, right, into R2, right? So the torque is given as 198,943, or let's write it this way. And the ratio of P3 P4 is given as P3 is equal to 2.5 times of P4. So write down 2.5 times of P4 minus P4 into R2 is 250 is equal to 198,943. Okay. So this is MT is equal to P3 minus P4 into R2. Right. So this is the half of diameter we take. So with this we will get P4 or the, or let's try to find P4. So P4 will get as 530 Newton, 530.5, and P3 we will get as 2.5 times of it. It will be 1326. And weight of the pulley 2, it is 30 into 9.8. So 98.1, there are 3 times of that. So it will be 294.3. Right? So this is at pulley 2. P1, P4, P3 is this, P4 is this, and weight is this. So now total load at pulley 2, total downward load at pulley 2. Now what is the load? It's P3 plus P4 plus W2, which is equal to P3 is 1326.29 plus 530.52 plus 294.3 Newton. Right? So total load will be that amount we are going to get. The total load at this thing is 2151 Newton Newton, right? This is at 2. So bending moment at B, right? Bending moment at B, bearing 2 will be 2151 into again 250, because it is also located at a distance of 250. So the bending moment will be 537777. 537777.5 Newton mm. So let's write that down. 537777. Okay, let me just update this bending moment diagram. So it will be 537777. So our bending moment diagram will be like this, right? So from that, what we will get? Bending moment is this. Maximum bending moment is here. This is 952. So this is what we use for the calculation, because it is less. Here it is 0, it is 537, and here it is 952. So this is the bending moment where, this is the twisting moment we are going to take out for our calculation. Okay. So now we know what is the bending moment and what is the twisting moment we are going to use for our calculation. So what are those? We will write those down. Okay. So now for our calculation, which tau allowable is 63.33 Newton per mm square. And the twisting moment, what we are going to use, 198,943 Newton per mm. This is not Newton, this is Newton mm square. And bending moment we just calculated is 952 927 Newton and. So now we know all this, and now the equation is, now we know that tau max is equal to 16 upon pi d cube root of mv square plus mc square. Right? So we know this, we can find out this. Let's try to put it here. 63.33 square, 63.33 is equal to 16 upon pi d cube root of mv square is 927 square plus 198 943 square. Calculate it. Now do the calculation for D. We will get it 42.78. D is equal to 42.78 mm. Right. So from this, we got the diameter as the diameter of the shaft required. D is 42.78. This is the diameter of the shaft required using the maximum shear stress theory. Now the second part of the problem. So I think this is the design is complete for the failure in the shear stress, because of the torsion in the it fails because of the shear, because of the torsion. The design is diameter as 42.78. Now there is something called as on the rigidity basis. Yeah, we have found out the diameter of the shaft by using maximum shear stress theory. Now similarly, like there is something called as design by further torsion rigidity. We will see that. First I have to take actually we have gone through formula for that, for the theta, but I will go through that again in the next lecture. Design for the torsional rigidity, and then we will do the remaining part of the second part of the problem. We will do that, and after that also we will do the asemic design also. Okay, so in the next lecture we will do some theory part, and then we will take the remaining 2 or 3 minutes